Land back. Hey, land back. Welcome to the Vanguard, the Vanguard, the only Vanguard, the one and only there is. Welcome to Black Hammer Organizations, the Vanguard, our weekly take on the news, what's going on in the world, what's going on in our backyards, and giving it that anti-colonial spin, giving that revolutionary tea to everything that's been going on in the world today. And woo, there's a lot going on today.
Yes, a lot.
There's a lot going on today?
Yes,
there's
so
a lot going on today. And yes, you're about to get into a bunch of tea today. And we are going to, of course, spill the tea while enjoying our, food. Every single time we do the Vanguard, we got some good colonized food, right? Whether it's in mukbang style or nice dinner style, that's how we do it. And so we have, what do we have today? We have,
you cooked it.
I did cook. We have milanesa. If you don't know what milanesa is, it's really thin, or as thin as you can get, meat, and then breaded and fried. And then we got some cucumber, tomato, onion salad. And then we have some Puerto Rican arroz, some Puerto Rican rice here. Yeah. That's what we got for us today. And we have a lovely beverage. A lovely, nice, light, local beverage. Yes, locally brewed. Yes, no, land back, everybody. Make sure when you come into the room that you are liking, sharing, and subscribing, okay? We got a lot of people liking, sharing, and subscribing right now. We have a bunch of people on our Twitter, on our Instagram, on our Facebook, liking, sharing, and subscribing. So if you're on YouTube, you should be doing it too. Join the party. Do what everyone else is doing, all right? And so, yes, milanesa de pollo, Charlotte. That is what we got, milanesa de pollo.
That's what we got.
Oh, yeah. They got milanesa de pollo. What do I have? Because I'm vegetarian now, y'all. I got milanesa de tofu. I got that milanesa de tofu. It's still good. It's still got the same seasonings. It's just got that, tofu aftertaste. But you know what? It's just as good as the chicken, y'all. Like, don't worry.
It looks just as good too. Like, if y'all can see this plate, it looks just. I was about to confuse them, to be honest. I was putting the plates down. I was like, this one's square. Why? Oh, okay, it's a tofu.
But yes, no, yeah, I will show you the plate when we get a little bit closer to the camera. But yeah, keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. Our phones are blowing up with how many notifications we're getting because of all the follows and all the tweets and retweets of some big news that we're going to share. If you haven't heard yet, we'll get to it. Don't worry. You won't be kept out of the loop. Pretty much the whole world's in the loop now, but you won't be kept out of the loop yourself, okay? But in the meantime, we want you to donate, all right? We are the Chicago chapter of the Vanguard, the Black Hammer Organization. And yes, we are getting our people prepared more and more for winter. We're getting more and more sleeping bags, blankets, tents, food for our people. And we need that resource for our people out here, for our homeless people that we've been serving nearly every single day. And making sure that not only do they have what they need, but that they are connected to the Vanguard, connected to organization, connected to something to build for their future. Because that's all we're about, is about the future and building a world where no one lives at the expense of another. All right. And so make sure you're donating to our Cash App. It's Black Hammer Shy, CHI, Black Hammer Shy. As well, we have a Venmo, Shy Hammers. So you can donate to there on Venmo as well. Land back, Kobe. Land back, Nadia. Good to see y'all. Yes, it is a victory meal.
Yes.
It is a victory meal.
And yes, it is true, Nadia. Chief Oju is a vegetarian now. No meat. Still liking the cheese though. Still loves to put on the cheese on everything.
Yeah.
That's vegan, not vegetarian.
True.
Yes, I would like to be vegan still, but I'm gonna try to make sure that we get all the nutrients that we need. And we're going to have another special guest here in a moment on the Vanguard. Yes, we're going to have Chief G join us while they put on the show. They can do it. He's amazing. And also, this is the time we finally bring them back out, right? We're finally gonna bring them back out, and so we'll see them in a moment. But yes, make sure you're still liking, sharing, and subscribing. But in the meantime, we are going to talk about our first topic.
We did not introduce
ourselves. Oh my God, that's true. We didn't introduce ourselves.
Oh no.
Oh my God, yes. Let's introduce ourselves first, y'all. Okay, let's start on this end and then we'll work our way down. Okay.
All right. My name is Ren. I represent the nations of Panama and Colombia. I come from Petty Boo background and in committing class suicide. And I use they them pronouns. And I'm the Minister of People's Affairs. Self-critical, almost didn't say my title. But yeah, I'm the Minister of People's Affairs, making sure that people, are being served all day, every day, through Black Hammer, talking to people, seeing what they need, whether it's, weather alerts, like, hey, I know you don't got a phone, so let's put up this poster so that you can see what the weather is going to be like throughout the week, right? Because a lot of homeless people don't got phones, right?
Yes.
Or, even just like making sure that people are fed, right? Like, but COVID safely fed, right? Like we're us making sure that we're safe when we're preparing food. We do anything and everything to serve the people in the Ministry of People's Affairs. And in general, on Black Hammer, honestly. But,
yeah. No, Ministry of People's Affairs be killing it over here in Chicago. We got our people at the park that we serve, the homeless people at the park we serve, when they are getting the weather updates. Yeah, a lot of them don't have phones, right? And a lot of them don't have access to that information, even though it might be something that might be easily found. No, they need it, especially when it's raining, especially when it starts to snow, especially when it's super windy here, right? And so, yeah, MPA is providing that information pretty much every other day and keeping them updated on what's going on, all right? My name is Chief Oju, representing the nations of Africa and Boriken. Boriken is the true name of the colonized Puerto Rico. I represent the working class with some petty blue fries. And yes, I am using he, him pronouns, and I am the Chief of Agitation and Propaganda, which is the committee responsible for making sure that the people are informed of the revolution, all right? And the Vanguard is an example of keeping you informed. Yeah.
I was responding, my bad.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
My turn. Land back, y'all. I am Chief Atacame. I represent the Coca and Villarrica people of colonized Mexico. I am of the poor working class, and I use they, them pronouns, and I am the Chief of Staff for the Ministry of People's Affairs, which, like we said, is badass in serving the people. We get this information out every day, in some way, all over throughout all of our chapters, right? Because not only are we on the ground every day, but we still make sure that we're providing this information to our chapters all over the world.
Yes.
So we out here.
Yeah, for real. Anytime there is a weather alert that is urgent in Cali, or anytime there's a weather event happening in another part of the world, our MPA is making sure that everyone who is not just an organization, but everyone they work with is informed as well. All right.
Just like the tornadoes that were happening.
Yes.
And we're going to get to that.
And we are going to talk about it. But first, we're going to scoot and make room for our special guest that you ain't seen here in a while. We're going to move to the right. We're going to Cupid shuffle it to the right.
Land back.
Hey, look who it is.
Oh, where's your local brethren?
Oh, yeah. They're gonna go get their beverage. They're gonna go get their beverage, and we are going to keep on going. Make sure you put in the comments how happy you are to see our Chief G.
Yeah.
All right, Chief G has been doing it. GG, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Land back, y'all. I'm Chief G, representing the colonized people of Mexico. Come from the working class with a lot of pretty aspirations. So committing class suicide every day. Pronouns they them, and I'm the Chief IT. Land back, y'all.
Hey, land back. All right, and we're gonna just get into it. We're gonna get into the thing that we are also happy about, the thing that everyone is talking about. All right, so let's get into our first clip.
Some cheese myth for everybody.
and we need to all get on the right side of history, which is both sides uniting the Proud Boys, Black Hammer, Black and brown working people, white working people coming together against this elite big pharma situation. It is a fight between good and evil we in right now. This is serious stuff, y'all. This is serious stuff.
Ooh, you heard it. If you heard it here first, you heard it here first.
Oh.
I don't know where you heard it first. Everywhere you heard it first. Whether it was on Facebook or Twitter. Yeah, because we're trending. We're trying to put hashtag trending in the comments, all right? Hashtag trending in the comments. Yes, and hashtag Black Hammer too, because Black Hammer is trending. That hashtag is the hashtag that is all over people's keyboards in people's mouths right now. Yes, because what are we doing? We are forming a coalition with the Proud Boys. Now, people might be like, huh? People may be like, what? But just as CIC Ghazi laid it out, desperate times call for us to make sure that we do whatever we have to do to make our people safe, taken care of, and get what they need. And who else does that? The Proud Boys also do that, right? They do what they do to make sure people get what they need. And you know what? Sometimes interests collide, all right? And so, yes, we are trending. We are trending. Make sure that if you are on Twitter and you haven't seen the tweet, go to our Black Hammer Times Twitter. It's BLKHMMR Times on Twitter. And go ahead and tweet, retweet, quote tweet, like. Don't worry, we already passed the 2 million impressions in a few hours. It's going. We're trending, I think, in between Johnny Depp and Dumbledore. I think that's what's happening. Yeah, in between Johnny Depp and Dumbledore. I don't want to physically be in between that, but we in between that on Twitter, all right, and those trendings. And we're also trending with hashtag Trump coup attempt.
Weird.
All at the same time. So yeah, I want to hear about it. Chief about the comment. I know you're about to get that.
All right.
Tell me what you thinking.
Honestly, this is amazing. You know, we have been working so hard to fight for the interests of our people, and you know what they say, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You know, and like Chivo just said, sometimes your interests align with the most unexpected people, and you gotta roll with it because that's what's best for your people. You know, you gotta be strategists and think of the bigger picture, right? And this is what's gonna get us to that next step. This is what's gonna, enforce or reinforce basically the fact that the colony does not have our interests in mind, that the colony does not care about our own dictatorship over our lives or anything like that, right? Because we're fighting this mandate.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know. Exactly. See, we gotta be careful, so careful about what we say, right? Like, what kind of BS is that? So we're fighting for our interests. We're fighting for our rights to speak, our rights to our bodies, and we gonna do what it takes to get it.
Yes, exactly. No, we are fighting against this mandate. We are fighting against all those in power who control all this media, who control the CDC and Big Pharma. All these people who also happen to be Democrats and happen to be on the left. These are people who constantly pull colonized people into their circles, into their ranks, and constantly distract our people from actually getting what's ours. Exactly. Right? And what are we owed? We are owed what is ours. All right? And if the Democrats aren't going to let us do it, well, where are people going to go to? Right? What are people going to do? And you know what? Better our people be away from all that and on our way to getting what's ours than sitting for 500 years more under some Biden type person, constantly still on the welfare, constantly still in the projects, constantly still in the hood, constantly still begging for money, right? I'm done with that. Our people are done with that. And so that's why we are doing what we got to do to be done with it. All right? Exactly. Yes. Laying back, everybody. So make sure you are still liking, sharing, subscribing to our channel, Black Hammer YouTube, Black Hammer TV. Go ahead, man. What you thinking?
This is like what the government said, like this is a beautiful, like, you know, coalition, mostly because honestly we like this is really just learning from our previous revolutionaries, right?
Yes.
Like Marcus Garvey, you know, also, you know, united with some people that other people didn't like, right? And it was because, like what the government said as well, like the enemy of your enemy is your friend, right? Yes, like, you know, they might be, you know, colonizers or whatever, mostly, but what do we need right now? We need to work together.
We need power.
Yes, we need power. And to get that power, we need to unite, right? And you know, working together is, you know, just one step, right? Like that's just one step to getting that power. And you know, at the end of the day, like, you know, we have to take priority in our people's lives. Like that, and like with this mandate, with, you know, what is going on with these Democrats, with these liberals, with, you know, even the people who are so quote unquote like activists, like Black Lives Matter and whoever else, right? Like they aren't for our people, and it's being more and more exposed, right? Because they're uniting with, you know, the mandate. They're uniting with the liberals. So who's the Vanguard?
Yes, right. Look at us being the vanguard, because again, these so-called activists, BLM types, all of them, what are they doing to, again, pull our people out the hood, pull our people out the projects, pull our people away from this mandate, right? And but no, they're not going to do that, because they is paid by all them Democrats and liberals.
And the thing is, it's really funny also to see all the reactions, right? Because people miss the point, right? Like the point, like you said, is getting power, right?
Yeah.
And how are we gonna get power? Working, right?
Working,
hard.
yes.
And you know, college people work hard. Poor working class countries work hard, and the white working class also be working hard.
Exactly.
And you know who all the liberals unite with? Colonizers too.
Yeah, that's true.
Like all these organizations, like ESL, even BLM, you know, like they all take like white people and they unite with them, but they unite with the weak ones. You know what I mean?
They unite with the weak ones. She said.
Tweet it out, y'all. Tweet it out.
So how are they even expecting to get our people free, to get our people truly free from this like establishment, right? From the democratic like elitist establishment. How are they gonna get our people fed?
Yes.
If they're like not getting power, right? Like if they're just like being liberals and all of them care about their self-care and all that, right? Which is what the colonizer teaches you. So I'm saying that. I'm saying that.
Exactly. No, exactly. Like we're done with the Twitter types that have every single identity in their bios, and if someone says something that goes against one of them, then they have to go have a self-care session for 5 hours and then go finish their PhD. No, we're done with that. We're done with that. That's who is claiming are the leaders of our people. No, we're done with that. Right? There's the way that we have true self-care is if we get power into the hands of our people. That's the only way we're gonna have actual care for ourselves. Exactly. And so we're gonna do what we gotta do to do it. You know, but yeah, I want to see in the comments #LeftGameWeek. All right.
Yes. You know who else called the white left the weakest and the biggest enemy?
Oh,
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X also did that. You are right.
You know, like it's proven over and over. Like why are we gonna unite with someone, regardless of race, who could not live a day in one of our lives as a poor working class person?
Exactly.
You know, it's like go to work for 12 hours for 7 days a week, and then if you're not crying about it, come talk to me. You know, and then come do some work to actually liberate people. If not, you weak as hell and bye.
Yeah, exactly, right? Just like what the Kanye laid out and G laid out, it's about hard work. And none of these organizations are actually caring about doing hard work. They're only caring about making sure that they get something into their pockets, something into their wallets, with whatever grant money, with whatever scholarships, whatever it is. And even when they know it's wrong, they'll keep doing it because it's only about them and not their people. That self-care really is just self. And that's the whole change with it. It's truly just self. And that's what we got to work against. That's what we have to build against. And we'll do what we got to do to do so. All right. If you I see left game week. All right. I see everyone doing left game week. Yes. Kobe here says yes, and that's what makes us always one step ahead of BLM and Tifa and other so-called groups who claim to be about the people. Yet nothing has changed due to them being aligned with the liberals. Yes, all these groups claim that they're here for us, but what did they do? Here in Chicago, when after George Floyd was murdered, everyone's families was worried about what was going on, right? And of course, our people were reacting and rebelling. But then at the same time, you have groups like BLM and Antifa, especially, going out into our communities and destroying things, right? And getting in on the pain of our own people and getting a hit on some glass and some windows and just being adventurous. And look what that brought our communities. Just more destruction, more pain. Because did they come up and clean anything afterwards? No. Did they come up and meet anybody in the community? No. Did they come and apologize and be self-critical? No. Right? All those people did was just destroy and move on. And liberals are known for doing that, destroying and moving on. What happened in Ferguson? All of them came, destroyed, and moved on. Had they come back for all of the colonized people, for all the African people murdered by the police at that time? No. Did they come back for people who needed food and water after a town just got completely drained of all its resources? No, right? And so we're done with them. We're done with them, and we move in it, all right? And so make sure, someone says Black Hammer is one of the few groups who generally want to help. Hey, thank you, alternate KEK. Yes, thank you. Yeah, exactly. We are out here in our communities all the time. We are cleaning up our neighborhoods every week. We are serving our homeless people every week. We are housing homeless people every week. We are doing things for our people, literally. We're giving them K95 masks to protect them from the virus because, you know what? We don't want them to be forced to make a decision about this mandate, but we want them to be safe and still live. And so, yes. So make sure you are following us and getting in on this work. If you want to get in on it, you can go to blackhammer.org/join. All right. You can get on it. You can get in on this coalition. You can get in on what's happening here. Okay. But otherwise, just make sure you're still liking, sharing, and commenting and subscribing. All right. What is our first topic? So before we go into our topics, just so you know, we're going to talk about a range of things. But yeah, go ahead, still go off in the comments about this win, y'all. We gonna do a victory lap right around. Don't worry, we're gonna get back to it at the end. But let's talk about what's going on in the world today. Oh goodness.
Oh my.
Baby, I need you to run right back to me. Baby, I need you to run right back to me. Baby, I need you to run right back to me. Baby, I need you to run right back, baby. More specifically, Kimberly.
Woo! Yeah, that's awkward, yo.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's awkward. I don't know. Dang, Kanye. Why Kanye? I mean, a lot of people be doing that a lot. Why Kanye? Hey, it sounded good. Like the sound was good. But more specifically, Kimberly. Oh no. No, so you all probably know that Kim Kardashian now is filed to be legally single, and now that Kim Kardashian is working on being legally single, I think Kanye is now in a state of please don't leave me, please, And at this concert, which by the way, people didn't talk about what the concert was about. The concert was this concert with Drake for #Free Larry Hoover, and if you don't know Larry Hoover. A major figure, a major one here in Chicago, who look him up, all right? Yes, major person here from Chicago, and who is incarcerated right now, and he's locked up, and yeah, we're doing this benefit concert. They were saying to free him, right? #Free Larry Hoover, and I guess Kanye used it as an opportunity to say, Kim, please, baby, please. Right? Baby, please come back. Yeah, it's just kind of looking sad. I mean, I'm not sure why. It's not like I mean, she's the mother of his kids. But at the same time, I don't know. That's all. I've only heard the stuff about her. I haven't heard anything about the kids yet.
But look at she's coming though. That's literally how the left is begging for us to come back right now.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Hashtag gone.
Yes.
Legally in a coalition.
Yes.
Happily in a coalition.
Happily in a coalition, filing to be in coalition. Yes, we're pulling the Kim K. Yes, right. Put hashtag no going back. All right. Hashtag no going back. No running back. Oh yes, because I don't know, man, Kanye. I don't know why, but that's what you're doing. G, what's your thoughts on this? And that's
Man, Kanye is down bad. It's so down bad. It's sad, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's sad for him, but he also a very petty boo. He kind of weird. Like, I don't know. I'm tired of hearing about these couples. I'm done with them. Like Kanye, Will Smith, like all of them. You know, they're all messy. They're all really messy, and yeah, like, you know, Kim. I don't know. Seems like she's thriving, you know what I mean, with Pete Davidson and stuff.
Oh my God! Yeah, I forgot that Kim is with Pete Davidson. Go ahead, keep going.
Thriving. Okay.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, but like here, this is like the extent that like a neocolonial seller is willing to go to just like, you know, beg someone to go back, and it's like toxic, right? Like you see the colony like teaching our people this like toxic behavior in relationships. They don't teach us how to be respectful to each other, right? It leads to all kinds of horizontal violence in couples and friendships and everything, right? And it's just it's gross. It's gross that you have to like put up like a millions of dollars concert just to, like, you know, be toxic to your couple, but also like a waste of resources. You know what I mean? Like,
For real.
a waste of resources when like our people out here dying. Yeah.
For real. You know, Kanye, you need to bring that money back to Chicago.
Yeah, poor.
Specifically, hit up our Cash App and Venmo.
Yeah, hit up our Cash App. Kanye, our Cash App is Black Hammer Shy. Our Venmo Shy Hammers. Please, Kanye.
Kanye Trump.
Yeah. You know what? You know why Kanye went away from the left? It's because Kanye knew that there was more to what our lives could be, right? Kanye wants power. He has a whole track about power. Kanye knows what's up in that way, right? He knows that he wants something different. And so he went away from the left. Just like a lot of our people, a lot of Kanye's people go away because they want power too. They're tired of being at the bottom of everything, right? Just like how even white working people too are tired of being the bottom of everything, right? And so that's why we formed this coalition. That's why we formed this alliance, because we know that in order to get power, we have to move toward where the power is. All right? Yeah, the power ain't with the Democrats. The power ain't with the left. It just ain't with them. Ren, what you think about Kanye, the split of Kanye and the run back?
Like G said, like first of all, I don't really pay attention to celebrity news, only because, you know, that is, you know, something that our people care about, right? That's the only reason why I've ever like participated in this stuff. But you know, like this entire thing, I'm like, just like we hear too much about it, and it is just being used as a distraction, right? Like there is so much other stuff that is happening around the world. You know, COVID for one, right? Like
Yeah, think about the concert.
Yeah, and just the concert itself. Yeah, like as she was saying, like you know, people like they probably had COVID there, right? Like had Rona, self-critical, had Rona there, and yeah, they definitely spread that around to quite a few people, especially because those things are usually packed. So you know, and everybody is really just treating this like it's normal, like that it's back to normal, right? And you know, But you know, Kanye don't care. He's making money off of people's lives, so quite literally.
Yeah, everybody knows. Okay, you can work hard, but work hard to help others.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, of course, but people love seeing a hard worker, but people love a hard worker that passes it along, right, and that pays it forward. And truly paying it forward is making sure that your people got what they need. And that's what Black Hammer does. Black Hammer makes sure that our people got what they need. And we'll do what we got to do to make
Not
sure
rebuilding childhood homes.
Yeah, we're not rebuilding our childhood homes at concerts. And you know what? We're housing homeless people. That's what we're doing. Complete opposite. What you thinking? I know you're not the biggest fan of celebrity news, but
I'm not, but this is really funny. Like Charlotte said, just cringe. Like I saw this clip and I was just like, oh God, like please, why? And like you said, no one talks about the purpose of the concert, right? And I feel like if Kanye if he actually wanted to help Larry Hoover in a material way and be slick, he could have hit up Kim and be like, hey, you want to work on this legal case together? You know, like that would have been a much slicker way to get like into some connections right there, especially because like she just passed the bar.
Yeah, she just passed the bar.
Whatever, you know, lawyer Kim, but whatever. Like I don't care. And yeah, anyway, that's a whole different thing. But yeah, I mean, this is just so dumb and like. You know, like it was brought up, yeah, it is a super spreader. Like people there, you know, even if it's like, oh, it's a mask mandate, again, they never talk about which kind of mask actually protects you, which is a K95 mask. We'll say it again and again and again, right? And that's why we give them out. But yeah, like this is just so funny. Like she said, he's down terribly.
Down terribly.
Atrociously. It's really funny, but again, it doesn't impact the material lives of literally anybody, other than the people who were exposed to the virus at the concert, you know, to the people, you know, and all of that money could have again been used to support Chicago.
Yeah, you know, it's just there's so many kind of people here in Chicago that could use a house Kanye, that could use a meal Kanye, you know, and I know you do things here and there, but you know, our people need more, and you know you want to do it. So, you know, check out our coalition, check out what we're doing, and you know, come back and help people out, all right? With Black Hammer. All right, what's our next topic? G. We're gonna get into, I think I know. Yes.
This is such a heartbreaking loss, you know, not only in Mexico and Latin America, but here in the U.S. and really in every corner of the world. He was a musical megastar, and for people like me who grew up here in Texas, his songs were the soundtrack of our lives. Vicente Fernandez. They called him Chente and El Rey, the king, and he was a powerhouse in mariachi music. But this morning, his family announcing his death. It was an honor and a great pride to share with everyone his great musical career, they wrote. He gave everything to his audience. Fernandez's career spanned nearly 6 decades, with his first record deal in 1966. From there, the man who began singing on street corners released more than 75 albums and sold tens of millions of copies in Mexico and the United States. His ballads considered the musical soul of a people and culture.
Lamb back. You know, not gonna lie, I didn't grow up with Vicente Fernandez, but a couple of us here did. So I'm gonna start. I'm just saying. I knew who he was, but I didn't grow up listening to him and so, you know, at Black Hammer, we are an international organization. We are making sure that everybody around the world gets what they need, including the colonized people of Mexico, all right? Of course, of Mexico. And so, yeah, can you start with you, G?
Yeah. It's like a mixed feelings with this situation because Vicente Fernandez, I mean, first of all, big sellout. But second of all,
starting off strong, there, G.
But second of all, he was just he was like an abuser and stuff, and like you know, he didn't have respect for like all of our people, you know, like even though like literally everyone like liked his art, right? Like his art is beautiful, right? Like he's really good at singing, and like every Mexican that I've ever met like has at least grew up with and liked at least a couple of songs, and that was really disgusting, right? Like I know that even like with his fans, like he would be like abusive and stuff and all kinds of things. And also doing like ridiculous stuff, like not accepting like a kidney transplant because it was
a liver.
Or a liver.
I don't know.
Some organ transplant because he was like, no, it may come from gay people or whatever. Which I mean, do what you do, but I mean, yeah, like it just again another example of like how much like the colony, just messes up with our people and just teaches them like violence on each other, right? Because that's what they want. That's what they want, right? They don't want us to be united, right? They don't want us to be self-determinate. They want us to be, just weak. And they put like people like them just to, sorry, the cat's like jumping on me. Yeah, like that's what like sellouts are out there, trying to like misguide our people and harm them in the end. His music is good though. So yeah,
we can say the same about Kanye.
We can say the same about Kanye, right? Like we got some good albums. I'm right. Yeah, I don't know. Pass it up to you, Watakami.
Yeah, G already got. You ready to see what G already got? But yeah, go ahead, Watakami. Go ahead.
Damn, bro.
All right, you're strong.
I
Real
know.
quick.
I was like, no, but I mean, I get it. It is hard to separate the art from the artist. Because like I grew up with Chente my entire life. Like some of my happiest like family memories are my uncles like getting together and singing to his songs. Like I have one uncle specifically who has a beautiful voice, like very similar to Vicente's, and it holds a lot of emotion and stuff. But he was a piece of crap. As a person, objectively, like he said with the whole liver thing, whatever, he was like, how can I sleep next to my wife with a gay man's liver? Or and it was like, okay, so bye then, good luck. But we also have to recognize, like that homophobia and machismo, and that comes from the colony too. Like our people are not inherently evil. Our people are not inherently bad. Like that came from colonialism, right? And so when I found out yesterday, I was like, oh dang. Even last night, someone asked me if I was sad about it, or how sad are you? And I, I was like, oh, like I'm not really that sad. Like I'm just surprised. Because he's an icon. Like it's Ray, literally.
Yeah, Ray.
El Charro,
Yeah.
But I think the sadness comes with what the memories hold.
Yeah.
Just because it is. He was such an icon and a staple in my family and like a lot of Mexican families, you know. So beautiful voice, terrible person. Like it just. But again, we have to recognize. Again, I will say it again and again and again. The selloutness, the abusiveness, all of that stuff comes from the colony, not from our people. So
Yeah, and I know like talking about like the art and the artists. Some people are talking about in the comments like. Alternate says lots of musicians are garbage people. Good art comes from strife and chaos. And part of that, like they talk about Vicente like beginning on street corners, and that's a thing. You see like the desperation to do hard work to achieve something really great with your talent and your skill.
And they get exploited too.
And exactly. And they get exploited by people who want to use that skill and talent and work with perseverance for their own advantage.
And then it's the desperation of not going back. Because the colony doesn't give us a way out. It doesn't give us a way to actually like end the suffering that we come from. That is why a lot of people sell out. Like if anything, that is the reason. You get people who are poor working class and they make it, or they think they make it, and they never want to go back. And that's why like Black Hammer is here to be that pathway to ending the suffering, ending the way that we grew up. And to create that future where no one lives at the expense of another. Where selling out is not necessary. Or it's not an option. It's never necessary. It's always a choice, but where you don't need to, or you don't feel like you need to, because we'll be taken care of. And that's what Black Hammer is here to do.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You want to have a world where you can paint and want to paint, and you don't have to worry about selling your painting to get your next meal. You know, you're a world where you can learn how to build cars and fix machines, but not have to learn how to do it because you got to make sure the bills are paid, right? We want a world where we can do what we can do and do what we love to do, but not to survive, just to live and do it. And that world only comes with getting power, all right? And so if we ain't getting power, we ain't gonna have a world like that.
Rest in peace, Norway.
Rest in peace. Descansa en paz to Henry. Anything on this, Ren? I know I didn't grow up with.
I grew up like hearing, but not like all the time, like everybody else, like y'all did. My mom loves like a lot of knew a lot of like Mexican people and like people from people from Mexico. So I've heard a lot of his songs, but I didn't know him personally, right? Like it was just another artist that she played pretty often. So y'all laid it out. Y'all told me about the liver thing. I didn't know anything about that. So and it's really true. Like people, the artist can we can enjoy people's art, right? Like we can enjoy people, what they produce, right? Because what they produce is like mostly what is what they love, right? Like that's the reason why they're so passionate about it, and sometimes the reason why it's so good, right? We can enjoy that and still be critical of the artist. So yeah. And
like Tiger said here, he was famous for his music, not for being a good person.
Yeah.
So you know what? And like
sometimes
that's why people went to the concerts. That's why people bought the albums. That's why people are crying today because of what that music meant for them, right? So yes, no, this concept implies still to LA. Let's see our next topic, G. I know it's something. Yes, big.
This is a historic situation that we're looking at here. Just shattering parts of the Commonwealth with devastating, catastrophic damage. And Jennifer, unfortunately, Governor Beshear suggesting that it could be over 100 people that were killed.
Yeah, he is afraid that death toll is going to rise while the damage is widespread. One of the most devastated areas right now is Mayfield. As you can see from this WLKY Chopper HD video, about 110 people were inside of this candle factory here when the tornado went by. Now, the governor said
it's fine. Yeah, no. So if you didn't catch the news, especially if you're living on the coast, a lot of people living on the coast don't necessarily hear a lot about what's going on in the middle. It's true. So there was massive storms here in the lower Midwest and the northern South. So stretching from basically Indiana and Ohio, right? Like Cincinnati all the way down to the bottom of Arkansas. And this giant storm system produced a bunch of tornadoes and produced one massive tornado that went over, was it 200 miles?
Yeah.
A 200-mile traveling of,
4 states.
4 states, one tornado going over 4 states. And this tornado destroyed a lot. And one thing that it destroyed was a factory in Mayfield, Kentucky, which is the western part of the state. And this candle factory had everyone working. This was at night. This is like pretty late at night, where and it's full of people who were working hard to make candles and candle gifts for Christmas, right? And they were working this Christmas rush and trying to meet the demand. And so during the storm was happening, and the tornado went over and collapsed the factory. And a lot of kinds of people working there. You had African people working there, indigenous people working there, white people working there. A lot of different kind of people working there right now. And yeah, it's devastating. It really is, because it's something that's so preventable. And it's one thing to work hard, but we don't have people who are there to protect you while you work hard, right? And while you try to produce something. In this case, they weren't making something for them, making something for other people, right? But if you aren't protected in this situation, then these are the types of things that can happen. And who was at fault here? It's the people responsible for keeping up our infrastructure and keeping up us up to date on the weather, and the bosses who put too much money in their pockets and not enough to make sure just regular working people are safe going to work. It's really devastating, and we are constantly making sure that people are aware of the weather and stuff like that, and responding when people do need things. Ren, can you start us off with
land back. And there was a candle factory in Kentucky, but also even in Illinois, the very bottom of Illinois also got hit, and it was an Amazon factory, right? That collapsed too. And there's the Amazon factory also was filled with a lot of colonized people, with mostly colonized people, and this is just the colony once again putting profit over our lives, right? And also not preparing people, not allowing people to even know what was happening. I read an article today that people Amazon has a no phone when you're out in the warehouse policy. So a lot of people didn't get the alerts unless they were breaking the rules, and weren't able to call for help when things started to collapse on them, right? They weren't able to have access to those things. And that's just a continuation of how disgusting this colony is, cutting our people off from the rest of the world so that they can slave away in their factories, slave away in their what's it called for their companies. It's just this was extremely devastating for all across several states. I think the last count that was up was the count as of right now is 70, 76 or 79 dead currently, but over 100 missing.
Wow.
Still. And those 100 missing are the chances aren't looking good for them, because there's so many collapsed buildings, and our people don't know what to do. So many people are, and especially because Tornado Alley is changing, right? Where tornadoes are happening is changing because global warming, changes in the earth. People have to start preparing for quite literally anything, because we don't know how the earth is going to continue to change in the next few years, the next decade. And that's what MPA is also here to do, is by sending out these alerts, by sending out information. Hey, this is what you can do to prepare yourself, and keep an eye out on the website. There might be a little update coming up soon, to make sure that people have access to it all the time, so that anybody can just look it up on our website. Hey, what do I do? There's a hurricane coming. Hey, what do I do? There's a tornado. There's a snowstorm.
Yes.
And that's what our people deserve, right? You go to any other website and it's always mixed reviews, and our not mixed reviews, but mixed information. Ours will lay it out nice and clear with little infographics and things like that, right? So, so it's easily digestible. And that's why you all should join Black Hammer, so that you can help us with these things, right? And help us, prepare our people, and help other people, right? And so that we can actually build a better world where we don't have to live at the expense of another, right?
Yes. Oh yeah, man. Back. What's coming is the other MPA person. Can you let us know? Yeah, how how do we get the power to make sure that these things don't keep happening to us and our people?
Yeah, Lamback. I mean, how do you get the power? It's the revolution. First and foremost, but there are steps. There are steps to be taken. I do want to talk about just how devastating this is. Because it was the camel factory, it was the Amazon factory, it was a nursing home, it was countless houses, and it's so ridiculous because we sent out the alert early. It was literally in the morning, wrote out the email and sent it out before going to outreach, to keep serving the people. So sign up for our mailing list if you want these alerts as they come out, while we get the website up and ready, right? But also, how do you Kentucky is known for tornadoes. Like tornadoes are not new to Kentucky.
Yeah.
How do you have a factory where over 100 people work and you don't have tornado preparations? How do you not have cellars? How do you not have drills? How do you not have tornado alarms? Like, especially because it was literally said that these would be at night.
Yeah.
You know, and nocturnal tornadoes are generally more devastating because people are sleeping and they don't have the time or the alertness to find shelter, you know. That's why they warn them. So, yeah, that's why there's a lot of warnings for it. And like Minister Ben said, you know, unless they were breaking the rules and have their phone, they weren't gonna get the alert.
Yeah.
And that is purposeful. Like that is intentional harm being done. You know, like it makes no sense. Again, it really does not. And yeah, like we get our power by joining anti-colonial revolutionary groups like Black Hammer.
Yes.
You know, not like Black Hammer.
Black Hammer, yeah.
You know, we do have a natural events preparedness committee. Love her. Love her. Where, you know, like we are dedicated to getting this information out. You know, like we've written manuals. We have so much information on natural event preparedness, which is what we're working on putting on the website, you know. But we need help, boots on the ground to get it to our people, because again, not everyone has access to a phone. And we need, again, MPA boots on the ground to get this out to the people. And, you know, in the meantime, if you have questions on how to prepare, or if there's like stuff going on in your area, you can email staysafe-bh@protonmail.com. I check it every day. You know, I check it multiple times a day.
Yeah.
Like I will be there for you.
Yes.
If you need help preparing. And so, you know, even if it's not you, if there's something going on in your family's area, like that's what we're here for, is to materially help the people. And we have avenues to do that already. You know, we're working on expanding them. So yeah, just reach out, because we're here for the people. We're here for the people.
Exactly. You know, we'll do what we have to do to make sure our people get what they need.
Because the colony won't and doesn't, obviously.
The colony won't, the left won't, the liberals won't, nobody will get you what you need except us, except all us people who are going to work hard to make sure that we get what we got to get. Laying back, let's go to the next topic. I'm going to just talk about it. You can show it. I'm going to just talk about it because that Aussie voice, I can't do that Aussie voice. So y'all, in New Zealand, there was a man who got paid. He got paid by over 10 people to get the jab so that he could get the card and hand it to those people. All right. So these are people who in New Zealand were like, I don't want to get the jab. Please, I don't want to get it. What can I do not to get it? Because again, it's our body and it's our choice. Nobody should be forced to do anything and put anything into their bloodstreams, right? And so this man said, hey, you know what? I can help you out. I'll take it. And when I get the card that says, hey, I'm all jabbed up, I'll give it to you and you can use it. Now, this person, he didn't just do it 10 times. He did it 10 times in one day. In one day, y'all, you can make us big again. people are right. In one day, he got jabbed 10 times. Now you would think that if you got 10 shots of anything in one day, you could have 10 shots of tequila, and that would mess you up. So how is it that he got 10 shots of this, but all the health officials in New Zealand and Australia and everywhere else are saying he'll be okay? They said the side effects are rare. So, you know, if he did it 10 times, you know, the side effects are still rare. Now this makes me think it's just water. I have no idea what it is that you could get it put into you 10 times in 24 hours and nothing happened to you. I'm confused. And they say, right, that he's fine. They say that he's fine. We'll see. I'm not sure whether I'll hear from him again. They didn't say his name. They didn't say his town. They just said he's from New Zealand. So we might not ever hear about it again. But y'all, this is what these mandates are driving people to do. Right? This is a New Zealand where everyone is pretty happy for the most part. Everyone's kind of chilling, and except for the colonized indigenous people, right, of New Zealand, right? But you have these mandates that are making people jab themselves 10 times in one day. That's how desperate it's making people, because people are trying to figure out how do they keep their rights, keep their autonomy, keep their independence against rules that infringe on the rights of our bodies, And so I wouldn't say get jabbed 10 times. I would not do that.
Don't.
Please don't. Of course you can say, yeah, it's because he needed money, but the fact that it's even a possibility in the first place, just so shows how much big pharma is getting in on our people around the world and just controlling everything at this point. G, what do you think about the getting jabbed 10 times?
Look, I'm gonna reference this. I really like this comment, Virgil's. It says, "Colonize the working class. We more susceptible to corporate propaganda than colonized working class." It's another example of that, right? And yeah, no, it's true, because our people believe that like we cannot trust big pharma, and that we cannot trust like the colony with like any sort of medical treatment period, because they have done that to us in the past, and they've like genocided, right? And yeah, like I don't understand like why like colonizers are just so reckless like that. Like they just don't care. But like you said, that they're even trying to like justify it and use it as a point of like, oh, nothing happened to him, as like as a point to like get people to take it is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, because then what if one of our people like tries to use that as a hustle? You know what I mean? Like that's dangerous.
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous. Like yeah, it might just very well be water and do nothing, because it doesn't do nothing, but we don't even know what else might be in it. So just wear your little mask, your little K95 mask. Stay home, be safe, wash your hands. It's that simple. Yeah.
Yeah, because what's supposed to be in it? What's supposed to be in it is something to protect ourselves from Rhoda, but people still catching it. People still spreading it. I don't know. If someone who's jabbed 10 times doesn't become automatically immune for it forever, then I don't know what it does. That should make you a superhero by the way they're talking about it, right? Yeah, exactly. Right? The way they talk about the jab, this should make you Superman to get 10 of them in one day, right? But
in one day.
But apparently he'll be just fine. Watakami, what do you think about this?
Pull out my list. First of all, the incompetence of the freaking medical system in New Zealand, that you didn't notice that someone had it already, not only once, but even twice or 3 or 4, up to 9 times before you jabbed them. You didn't notice? Like in one day, no one gave him a Band-Aid? Like,
a lot of Band-Aids on your
real though.
Like, how, first of all, there's that. Second, I said, like I said, the desperation of this person, right, to have to put their own body through that, where there is so much controversy around it, and still be like, nah, but I gotta pay the bills, nah, but I have to do this, so there's that part. And then there's the flip side of the privilege of the people to be able to pay for someone else to put their body in jeopardy, instead of them having to do that. Smells like colonizer to me. You do it. And, third, don't the cards have your names on it? And you'll have to show your ID. Like, I don't know if the process is different in New Zealand. But that seems wild. That seems really, really wild to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a failure all around, And people are criticizing the people who paid because, like, oh, you're gonna put people in danger because you're gonna think that you're vaccinated or whatever or something. But like, even if they did get jabbed, they could still spread it. They could still get it. They could still, like, it really literally is pointless. And it just, there's so many risk factors to it. And so it's crazy. I feel sorry for this person, you know, whatever situation they were in that made them agree to putting their body, you know. And like people, it just also shows people will do anything to not get jabbed.
Yeah,
you know, there's a growing thing online of people trying to figure out how to detox your body from it. So like it's a giant thing on different platforms, right? Different discussion boards and different stuff like that, where people are like, I had to get it, but I'm so desperate to get it out of my system. And it's so heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking that our people are, you know, being pushed to this. And again, that's why we team up with whoever agrees with us on the simple fact that we get to choose what goes into our body, and that shouldn't dictate our ability to eat, shouldn't dictate our ability to feed our children, to house ourselves, to house our family. Like, we will team up with whoever agrees with us on those basic facts, those basic human rights, you know. And the left ain't it. The left doesn't agree with those basic human rights, and so we're gonna team up with who does until we get that power, and we can give that choice to our people.
Yes, for real, exactly. Like this mandate from Fauci, from Sleepy Joe, is the reason why we have to unite across all fronts. But who's going to unite the most are the people who are fighting this the most, and that's Black Hammer and that's the Proud Boys fighting against this the most. All right, and so we have to defeat this Fauci, Sleepy Joe, cop Marlow regime, right? This whole thing that's forcing people here, and of course, forcing people here is also forcing people around the world to do it, right? Because everyone's gonna fall in line with what Fauci says, with what Joe Biden says. You know, all of this has to be taken down because we can't have this mandate no more. We cannot have this mandate no more. How important is it to be fighting against this mandate?
Yeah, this is extremely important, y'all. Like, this is literally our lives. This is also our children's lives. Let me remind you, because these mandates are going to be put onto our children as well eventually. Like, they're already, you know, coming up with these jobs for them. So it's only a matter of time. Like, oh, your kid can't come to school unless you're jabbed, right? Like, it's only a matter of time of like, oh, you can't be on this free lunch program unless you're jabbed, right? Like, there's so much push from everywhere, right? Like, I've never seen, like, never ever for any sort of jab, right? For any sort of medical care that people are supposed to get to help their life. Has it been pushed like this? Like, it's always like, oh, you know, this could help. Here, let me prescribe it, right? And like, you know, that you can try it out and then we can come back if it doesn't work or whatever, right? It's never like, you need to take this, like, let me watch you take it. Like, it's never been pushed like this. And you know, that causes a lot of red flags for me, and it should for you too. And like, the fact that we can't even express those red flags, the fact that we can't even voice our opinion of like, hey, that's a little weird, you know, like that's a little suspicious, right? On any sort of platform, right? Is ridiculous. And also back to this, I was about to say Australian, New Zealand person, right? That's also really dangerous because that is how variations are created as well. Like, you know, if you don't take medicine correctly, quote unquote medicine, properly, right? If it is what it is supposed to be, right, then there's a big chance that like a new variation could come out. So we're already dealing with what, Delta. We haven't gotten to yeah, I was about to say Omega. We haven't done that one yet. But yeah, you know, there's still a little bit of the alphabet left. So let's see where the next one comes from. Yeah. It might be New Zealand next. Who knows?
Don't let Big Pharma turn you into a petri dish, y'all. Don't let them turn you into a vial bottle where they're gonna experiment and mix everything up in you and figure out how it works. Don't let Big Pharma control you. All right, do not, because at this point, this is some dark times when it comes to this. It's already dark times, and we got people like Fauci making them darker. All right, and so unite against that. Unite against this mandate. Unite against Fauci. Unite against any left Democrat push to get this jab. All right, land back. we about to go to our last topic, y'all. Remember, again, share, like, subscribe, comment, okay? And donate to our chapter Cash App, Black Hammer Shy, Black Hammer CHI on Cash App, or Shy Hammer CHI, hammers with an S on Venmo. Let's see, what is our last topic today, G? Oh no.
Biographer Bob Colacello.
Nancy loved Ronald Reagan, with her whole being. It was a romantic relationship. It worked on every level.
And so we saw that last kiss, and we know about those visits to the gravesite. And we know what dream she held close. What she told Diane Sawyer, the Reverend Billy Graham told her.
I just want you to tell me that when I go, that Ronnie's going to be there waiting for me. And he said, oh, yes, absolutely, Nancy. You sure? Billy says so.
So, surely it seemed real, and not even really for public consumption. Though, of course, we all glimpsed it. Something that true is hard to hide.
So, if that's just if you didn't know who Nancy Reagan was, all right? So, I know Gen Z don't really know Nancy Reagan like that. But yes, so some tweet or something went viral that like, oh, Madonna's like 64, and look at her, she's trying to kill the game. She ain't killing the game. But someone was like, who was also killing the game at 64? Nancy Reagan, and everyone's like, huh? What do you mean? How was Nancy Reagan killing the game? What was she doing? What was Nancy Reagan doing that we all didn't know about? All right, and apparently, it's all in all her biographies. It is in all. It's constant. It's not a secret, and it's actually not new. But Twitter, it comes up again, like a recurring nightmare, or a dream, because actually it was a dream, because Nancy Reagan apparently was the throat goat, y'all. Apparently, when she was a young actress in Hollywood, because she was in Hollywood, in acting, and meeting producers and other actors, and apparently she was well known for that mouth that later said "say no to drugs," right?
Just say no, Nancy.
Yes. Nancy just couldn't say no. And so, everyone's talking about it now. Even Cardi was like, "What's going on with Nancy Reagan?" Everyone was just confused. And rest in peace. But yes, Nancy Reagan apparently has been like rediscovered for this. And so it's interesting, I think, too, is that not only are people talking about this, people are talking about like her being like a first lady and doing this, and like being proper and all this stuff. And you know what? We know that the right, as much as they're worried about showcasing a good image of themselves, doesn't hide who they are. They don't hide who they are. They don't hide what they can do. They keep it. No, they keep it real. They keep it real. When it came to Clinton and Monica Lewinsky and all that, that was like that had to be a whole secret. That had to be a whole thing. But but look at, we can laugh and reflect and go, you go, Nancy Reagan. That's what we can say now. You go, Nancy. Do your thing. That's what we can say now. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how much more is there to say on this. But go ahead, G.
The thing that baffled me, I don't know if y'all saw it, we don't have it here, but there's this picture with like Mr. T, the wrestler.
Yes.
Oh,
I saw. I think at least like on my Twitter time, like that's how it popped up, because someone like quote tweeted like an old tweet by Mr. T that said that he cared very much about Nancy Reagan. And then I saw that picture of like I think it was like your Christmas picture of like Nancy Reagan and Mr. T's legs and stuff. I'm like, man,
sitting in his lap.
And stuff. I was like, damn, Nancy.
Give him a nice juicy kiss on the forehead,
I want to see hashtag damn Nancy in the comments. Hashtag damn Nancy.
Yeah, and then like
Goodness.
and then yeah, like all of these pictures of Nancy Reagan with all of these famous actors or artists, whatever, started coming out, and I was like, oh, we can't look at them the same. That's just so funny. It's just so funny because again, like you said, why don't hide your talents? Don't hide your talents. And, and it's like Reagan was apparently very happy or whatever.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Happy man.
She kept him a happy man. And that's okay. That's okay to keep our people happy, right?
You do what you gotta do.
You do what you gotta do. You do what you gotta do. And Nancy did what she had to do. Mm-hmm.
While she was acting.
You know what? You know what is also like pretty cool? All of those rumors stopped when she got married. She settled down. She chose the one.
Yes, she chose the one. She chose who she was going to be united to. You see that? She chose who she was gonna stay and give all that talent and work to, right? And what are we doing? We are united. We are united and showing that we are going to give all that work to our people. To our people, right? We're going to do whatever we have to do to get that marriage with the people, right? To win them to our skills, to our talents, to our amazing abilities. And you know what? And you know who sees them too? The Power Boys see them too. Exactly. Right? The Power Boys see the talents too. I got them cracking up over here, but they know exactly what I mean.
No, absolutely. You're right. Because our talent is hard work and dedication and love for the masses,
Yeah.
So, shout out to Nancy for having that dedication to what she truly loved.
Yeah.
We will share that dedication for our love for the masses.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. I see some more damn Nancy's in the comments. All right, y'all. Let's get into these announcements and see what's coming up. Before we make sure you're helping our chapter prepare people for the winter. Donate to Cash App Black Hammer Shy. All right, Black Hammer Shy on Cash App. But as our announcements for today, make sure you are watching the Revolutionary Church online every week. The Revolutionary Church is our Atlanta chapter. Making sure you can make me big again. The Revolutionary Church is our Atlanta chapter on the ground with our homeless people, reading the Bible with them, making sure that they're safe and fed and clothed and housed, right? And making sure that our people have access to their power. Mm-hmm. And that's what faith does. Faith gives you access to something that's inside of you that sometimes is beyond you. Sometimes we need something more than what's inside of us to get us to the next step. And that's what the Revolutionary Church does. And so if you didn't know already, if this might be your first time watching, our Atlanta Hammers were arrested. They were arrested at the end of this past November for doing the Revolutionary Church. They were arrested for reading the Bible with the homeless, feeding the homeless, and clothing the homeless. And this is, again, an example of what cities run by people like, liberal Mayor Bottoms and the new now liberal Andre Dickens, and like all these liberal, leftist, democratic, just clowns in Atlanta. This is what happens when they run things. We still get arrested for working with the most desperate of our people, and we still get put in prison for that. And who were the people that understood what to do about that? It was the Trumpers. Guess who helped pay for the bail for our Hammers who were arrested? It was Trumpers, all right, who helped make sure that once our Hammers were inside that they were okay. The Trumpers, right? It's because they see, hey, why is it that you're getting arrested for doing something that's just helping homeless people? But apparently, people like Mayor Bottoms and soon-to-be Mayor Dickens, all those people, they don't get it. These Democrats don't get it because it's not putting a check in their pockets. That's why they don't get it, And so, so they were arrested for that. And that's why one of our other announcements is to make sure that you are calling the Atlanta City Solicitor. These are the people responsible for doing the charges in Atlanta. And so you have to call this number, 658-6618 to get these charges dropped. All right. We need to make sure you are dialing extension 5, but hit up any of them for real, because our people need to have our hammers on the street. And if they're tied up in this mess, then they can't. All right. So make sure you're calling that number to get our hammers free. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then our last announcement. Oh, G, you want to do it? G's here. Go ahead. What's happening?
Yeah, no, like we're having us every week a revolutionary book trap where we discuss and study some political education. You know, that's crucial for our people to get free. So this week we're reading The Art of War. We're reading chapters 9 through 13. So pull up this weekend.
Yes, pull up. Make sure that you are getting up to speed with the reading at blackhammer.org/library. All right. And yes, we are, getting into how do we unite to get the power that we need. That's been the theme of today. That's been the victory of today. That's been the victory that ain't nobody could deny today. And so Art of War is another thing to help us understand that a little bit better, right? So yes, land back, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Vanguard. We are going to keep on celebrating and staying up to date with what we got going on. With a lot of interviews coming in. You already saw Gateway Pundit already ahead of the rest and already wrote something about the coalition with the Cowboys, right? So everybody's already getting on it. So we got stuff to do. All right, we got stuff to do, and so we're gonna do it because that's what the Vanguard does.
That's what the Vanguard does, because we love the people.
Exactly, we love the people so much. You know what? We do whatever we gotta do for them, and that's what real hard work is, doing what you gotta do, doing whatever you gotta do by any means necessary. Period. All right, y'all. So we'll see you next week. And yes, land back, everybody.
Land back.